From the heart of Big Ten country, Los Angeles, California, Ryan Abraham and David Woods present the Podcast of Champions.
Welcome, everyone, back to the Podcast of Champions. I'm David Woods from Bruin Report Online, the UCLA site on the On3 network.
And I'm Ryan Abraham from USCFootball.com, the USC site on the 24/7 Sports Network. And together, this group of misfit toys, we make the Podcast of Champions, talking all things Big Ten football. It's March.
That it is.
So much news. I have 4 tabs open, David, with Big Ten news, football news.
Damn.
Which you hate.
That is 4 more than I have.
Yes. David's like, yeah, we're going to do a show. I'll put some stuff together. Does he put anything together? No. I sent him a text. Here's a story idea. Nothing. Here's another one. Nothing. Another one. Nothing. Another one. Nothing. Okay. Then like 2 hours before the show's going, hey, are we doing a show? Asshole. Sorry, Griffin. And he's like, oh, yeah. I only sent you like 15 texts today.
Hey, but here we are. Isn't that exciting?
It is exciting. We are live on YouTube. We can put your comments up on the screen. Let me see what we got. Storage unit. Let's see. We'll put this one up there. Like, we are getting. What are we getting? I'm not sure what we're getting. Oh, here we go. We are getting more off-season content than during the season. Yes, that's a very good way to
that's right, baby.
Putting it. And El Gordo Flaco, who's a huge fan, ready for some mediocre content. Well, we got that. We have more mediocre content than you can shake a stick at.
That's so true.
El Gordo Flaco. Do you remember that saying? My dad used to say all the time. That,
then you could shake a stick at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a good description. Like,
it's great. There's more than you could reasonably hit with a normal arc of shaking your stick.
Yeah, like how much stuff do you have to have? Like
what is a normal stick shaking arc? I would say it's like it's not even a 180, right? It's I would say about a 120, right?
Okay.
Like you're not shaking from here, right?
But if you're like at a football field, you could basically shake a stick at the entire
but if you're
field.
trying to shake from here to here, right? You would almost have to switch arms.
Yeah.
Right?
You want me to put you on the screen?
Yeah, please.
Look. Okay.
Okay, so if I'm trying to shake a stick, guys, I would have to shake it from this arm all the way over here, but like you've got your like chest area in the way. Like you're not shaking it. I'm like, this hurts, right? I don't want to shake a stick like that.
True.
So if you're shaking a stick, you're doing it in a limited arc. I would say from like, what would that be? 9 o'clock? Is that 9? I don't know.
That's 9, yes.
Yeah. All the way to like,
3
3.
Okay.
Right?
That's a 180, but yeah.
No, it's not 9 to 3 then. We're talking like 10:30 to like 1:30.
Okay.
Right?
So
that's the
where you're
shaking
going.
stick arc. So
I don't think the kids know how to use a clock face.
Apparently I don't.
Well, you're kind of a kid. Yeah. Gilda Punk. Can't believe I'm here for the live quote simulcast. I love it that yes, it's a simulcast that David doesn't like to call a simulcast. But we are live on YouTube, like I said. You can get all of our content. Which is sort of moving around right now, and I'm not even sure what we're doing.
I'm just happy we're not a unicast right now, or even lower than that.
Yes.
Like I'm just happy to be here. All right.
Yeah, we might be switching where the podcast exists. I don't know, but you can get it.
Not this time.
Apple and Spotify, like you normally do. 5-star ratings either place is great. We love if you can do that, and you can leave a review on Apple. You can leave comments on Spotify, which David doesn't even think exists, but it does. I've read comments before. He doesn't like it. I don't know what it is.
Can somebody explain to me why they use? Can somebody explain to me why they use other podcasting apps? Like, do you?
Well, not everyone has a.
Do you
iPhone.
Really have a preference? No. They're okay. Sorry, I'll clarify. For those of you with real phones, iPhones, why do any of you use other podcasting apps?
There's some that do.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah. And Google used to have its own. And I don't know
what went into your life in such a way that you now have a podcast platform preference? Like, what's going on? Like, have you interrogated that within yourself, within your own
Spotify.
mind?
I use Spotify to listen to music.
I use it to listen to music because that is the music listening app.
Yeah. In my car, like I have a Spotify app, and that's what if I want to listen to music, I put on that. But if I want to listen to podcasts, I put in the the Apple app.
Correct.
The Apple Podcast app.
Right.
But I guess I could listen to it all on the Spotify.
You could, but I would have to like rediscover all the shows. I started listening to X podcast, whatever it was, in like 2014.
Yeah.
Am I going to like move to this new thing and like restart my listening history or whatever? No, I'm not doing that.
Oh, we had a real question in the chat. I'll start that for later. Yeah. So if you're in the chat, first of all, thank you so much for being live with us.
Thank you so much for being alive with us.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate your presence here on this earth.
We do. And I'll star your questions in the chat and get to them later because that's what we do here. But you can email us, big10cast@gmail.com. You can call or text us, 424-532-0678. Tweet us at B1G Podcast. Tweeted out a shout out for questions this morning. I think we got a couple. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun show. We are a podcast based in the heart of Big Ten country, if you don't know that. Los Angeles, California.
That's right, baby.
And we are in lovely Redondo Beach right now. A little bit of a heat wave starting, David. Are you ready?
I've never been more ready for anything in my life except this heat wave.
You're not ready for the heat wave. Okay.
It's March, buddy. It's not even March post winter. It is still winter March.
Winter March?
Yes.
When's the Ides of March? Is that the 15th?
That's the 15th.
Okay. So we're coming up. We're like the 12th.
Yeah.
Nice. Just random March things.
The Ides of March when famously Julius Caesar was knifed in the Senate. You know?
That wasn't good.
No. Had it coming. Maybe. Right?
Most of those guys. You didn't like the presidents. I know you didn't like all the...
Oh, you mean the guy who replaced Republican Rome with an empire? Yeah, not a huge fan. Not a huge fan. Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, we have a few topics to talk about today because, I'm here. We mentioned this the other day, the last show, but that Ryan Field, where I got a picture, an updated picture.
They named that one after you?
I don't think so.
Oh,
they have some huge boosters, right? Like I forget the booster that's the Northwestern guy, but
how huge?
It's really huge. Yeah. So the point we mentioned that they're going to open the stadium against Penn State, but it's because they're 2 out of conference games. They won't be ready by then. So, yeah, if you're going to have a stadium opening, you want it to be for the start of the season. This one won't quite be there. Are things usually late, David? Like I'm guessing.
Is this the Spalding Field of stadiums?
Oh, you can Spalding Field. Oh, for
yeah. Do you
UCLA.
Remember UCLA's practice field, which wasn't available until mid-October last year?
Yeah, that was fun.
That was cool.
This is for where the actual games are. So they're going to do that temporary one, which is cool for the 2 out of conference games, and then it opens up for what's it called? For the Penn State game. But hopefully. We'll see. I mean,
if they're saying October 2nd, you know what that means?
Yeah.
It's going to be like November.
I'm thinking, hold on. Did we have, where's the saying? Crap, where is it?
Jesus.
Oh, here.
That blast came from the Death Star. That thing's operational.
Let the hate flow through you.
We got that when Lincoln Riley was supposed to make USC a juggernaut, which never happened. But the point is, for the Death Star, isn't there someone there that's just like Darth Vader or like the Emperor's like, we'll double our efforts. Like, yeah, you will. We're going to get the damn thing ready before the start of the season. Like, it can't be that hard. Let's do it. Come on, like double your efforts.
I don't know who would be the Emperor of Northwestern, right?
Oh,
that's a tough one.
Yeah, whoever
is it somebody with like
guy.
Is it like Ben Bolch? Is it somebody who graduated from the journalism school?
Oh, did he go? He went there.
Yeah,
Bolchy.
Yeah,
I get to see him now. I've only seen him like one practice at USC, but
good old Bone Belch.
I forget who
call him.
There's like a mega booster, I believe, and I forget who it is, but so
probably
anyway.
Stuart Mandel.
No, I got to see Stuart and his like college friends when Northwestern came to the Coliseum last year. That was fun. We had a good time. It was fun to see Stuart as like he's like hadn't been to a game like as a fan in a really long time, and so it was cool. Like he was just hanging out with like his fraternity buddies or whatever it was, or his college buddies and stuff. Okay, so I want to talk about that. There's also, David, a spring game resurgence going on, and USC's not caught it. Like they're a little behind the curve here. Like we mentioned last week, like Nebraska's going to have one. I think I went through, and there was a couple that weren't having a spring game. Northwestern might have been one of them. But with no spring portal window now, remember Nebraska, Matt Rule?
That's right. They don't have the bullshit excuse that doesn't make any sense anymore.
Right, but at least that's gone. But like Texas was a poster child for no spring game. Nebraska and Matt Rule, they both reversed. USC got on that bandwagon, but now they're not doing it. I tried to get confirmation today, or just like, hey, were you guys thinking about doing it? And one of the people was just like, no. I'm like, okay. Well, it seems like most people are coming. It went away for a while. It wasn't cool. Now it's cool again. And especially USC's got like 31 incoming freshmen that are taking part. Like they have a lot of people. It's not like they don't have enough bodies. So I'm not sure why USC's not doing it, but the trend for all those people that love spring games like me, and David doesn't care, it's coming back. So this is like bell-bottom jeans or something.
Do you guys hear it in his voice right now?
Spring
games. Do you hear
games.
the excitement?
Spring games.
Yeah, I mean, it was always stupid for this to go away. And frankly, if you've got like new regimes and frankly in this transfer portal era, you want to, I mean, look, I maybe this is just me preaching about something that actually doesn't matter, but I think it does matter. If you want people to be familiar with your team heading into the season, great opportunity to showcase. Like a lot of teams are like every year it's 50% new players.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It does seem like it would behoove you to get those kids in front of people just so they can put a face to a name.
You know, Tom, so I was listening to Cover 3 and they went off on this and I was like, oh, this makes a lot of sense. Cover 3 is not part of your network anymore, by the way. You're the Andy and Ari guys, which I love those guys too. But
they gave Bruin Report Online a shout out on
did.
our first day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love
very sweet.
I've known Andy a really long time. I've met Ari more recently, but those are good dudes. But so Tom Fornelli, he's a huge Illinois fan. They were like, hey, you know, how many guys do you know on their roster? Last year they had a lot of veterans back. This year not. He's like 10 to 15. He does this for a living, and he's a big fan of Illinois, and he only knows like 10 or 15 guys on the roster. Bud Elliott, who knows like everybody on everyone's roster, knows like half of the Florida State roster, like his team. So it's a great opportunity for fans to go in there and go like, who's number 4 or who's that guy? You know, at least get a feel for who these new people are going to be because there's so much roster turnover every year. So I'm glad it's coming back. I don't know why USC's not doing it. I think they heard me kind of complain about it on a podcast because I got a really sort of abrupt answer when I asked one of the higher ups about it. And I was like, are you not happy that I was telling people that you should have done a spring game? You're not doing it? I don't know, maybe. We say stuff that they don't like sometimes, and they get a little pissy with us.
I'm not familiar with ever doing that.
No, never? You've never?
I don't think I've ever had an issue with UCLA athletics in any way, actually. I've certainly never been blocked by the football Twitter account. I certainly have never been yelled at.
Are you unblocked by their Twitter? You're unblocked.
Certainly have never been given the cold shoulder by anybody, ever. For anything I've written or said.
It's like a sport for you. I love it.
They treat me with magnanimity, equanimity, all the imities. And never enmity.
Yeah. So you know how our sport works, right? Like we don't have a czar.
Which one?
The college football one. We don't have a czar. It's all these fiefdoms, right? And the Big Ten, the SEC, or the Big 12 doing stuff. By the way, the Big 12, the floor for the basketball tournament, I think it looks really cool. Apparently it's slippery, but have you seen that? That looks pretty badass.
I'm going to look it up right now while you continue
You haven't
talking.
seen it? Okay.
No. I'm not watching Big 12 basketball right now.
Dude, that's
right?
like the best basketball conference outside of us, our Big
Yeah,
10.
but the problem is I actually have a conference I need to watch for my job. You don't.
True.
Because USC basketball barely exists.
Yeah, they were like a bubble team, and then they're just lost like 20 in a row or something.
Oh, wow. It looks like a
TV
hangar deck.
It's like a TV screen. Apparently, it's a little slippery, but it looks really cool. I don't know. I think it's kind of neat.
Apparently, it's really hard to play on, and guys slip and fall and
But it
break
looks
themselves.
cool on
But
TV.
other than that, it's cool.
a TV product, David. It's for TV. If it looks good on TV, whatever.
Yeah.
So the Big Ten sent a letter to the NCAA, and they're calling for a moratorium on tampering-related investigations.
Is Tony Petitti still in charge of the Big Ten?
He sure is.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's probably a stupid idea, whatever he's asking for.
Well, I want to see if it makes sense to you.
Okay.
They make these rules for, all these guidelines that in a world that no longer exists. And Pete Thamel got a copy of this stuff. They sent it to Charlie Baker, basically saying that like the whole point of the transfer portal, right, is once you go in, you can be contacted by other people and by other schools. They're saying that by then it's too late, that if you want to be able to contact players from other schools, you should be able to do so. By prohibiting pre-portal communications, the Big Ten argued that athletes are taking risks by entering the portal in the first place. It's part of the issue the conference sees with the current structure in college athletics. So anyway, there's like this whole thing they go on about what they want to see and stuff. But good job with Ross Dellinger getting this together and stuff too. But I don't know if you had any thoughts on the tamper. I mean, they can't really enforce it anyway, but it seems kind of silly.
I mean, I guess from the standpoint of there's nothing you can really do, so don't try, I guess makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I all it does is really underscore the need for something of some sort. Because I don't know, you don't follow basketball, but the head coach the head coach of Michigan, what's his face?
Michigan has basketball?
God, what's his stupid name? Hang on. This is actually great that I can't remember his stupid name.
Isn't he like going to be a number 1 seed?
Dusty May. That's why I couldn't remember it.
That doesn't sound like
because
it's basketball name.
Stupid name. That's why I couldn't remember
it. It's not a basketball name.
I was trying to say Danny. I was trying to say Danny Man. I'm like, that's not it.
Dusty May's more like he's like a motocross guy or something. Not a head basketball coach in the Big
Dusty
Ten.
May sounds like somebody who dances at a club and gets money.
Oh,
for
he
it.
could do that. Yeah, that could be stage name.
Anyway,
after like Sharon Moore stuff, maybe they're using stage names. I don't know.
Anyway, Dusty May has been lightly accused of tampering by many, 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 many people, both on and off the record, at many, many different schools, including many, many different Big Ten schools. He was not even named the Big Ten Coach of the Year, despite Michigan being the obvious best team in the Big Ten this year, because the coaches were not going to vote for him.
Oh, petty.
So there's another thing going on too, I think, where, but tampering's not a real thing. Well, certainly some people think it is. And like, it would be good in this lawless environment. What often comes to the top are like standards that are not enforceable, but that everyone adheres to based on various levels of honor and shame and all those kinds of things.
Yes.
Wild West stuff. Like, it wasn't like the Wild West was completely lawless.
Right.
You got hanged if you were a horse thief. That's not like, that's not great. That's capital punishment for.
You knew if you stole a horse, though, you could be hanged. Like,
right.
So like that's the way it went.
So,
don't steal a horse.
I think there's some public shaming that can be used as a tool. I think there's ways for a group of peers to use certain tools that you can use just as a human being to enforce certain standards and codes of behavior.
Yeah.
But until there's some organizing body, there's not going to be actual rules in place.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was going on. Nebraska is also making a little bit of news. Our boys in Lincoln. So 18 Nebraska football players, David, challenged the College Sports Commission over rejection of third-party NIL deals worth over $1 million. This is the first challenge, and your buddy or my friend, or I don't know if you, Andy Staples was talking about this. He thought that the first challenge would come from a state that was like dominated by like a college team. Like it wouldn't come from USC or UCLA where there's pro everything. Like Nebraska is like the whole state. So then you have what's the Attorney General, I think, for the state. Like they would be the ones like ruling on this, and of course it's going to be favorable. But anyway, yeah, there's this arbitration thing that's going through, but it's the first challenge to these CSC rules. They still haven't been approved. Like all the schools are supposed to. Yeah. They haven't been approved yet. The Attorney General from Texas told the Texas schools don't sign this. So we knew like as soon as this commission is going to tell you, hey, by the way, that deal isn't good, then there's going to be issues with it. Hey, I'm trying to make money. You're not letting me make money. And it's going to be really hard for all this stuff to be upheld. But this was like the first sort of big thing, and it's coming from Big Ten country, Nebraska players.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this
my
one.
first and most pressing question is how poorly written were these deals that the CSC actually rejected them? Because I'll tell you, I looked at the numbers fairly recently. They're rejecting, I think, less than 10% of these things, and the monetary value of what they're rejecting is not very high.
Okay. So like the big ones are letting through.
They're letting through almost everything. So what the hell is going on with Nebraska that first, you don't recruit high school players. You re-up your head coach for an insane contract when he hasn't performed. And third, whoever's writing your NIL deal sucks at it. Like, why are you getting 18 deals rejected?
I don't know. Maybe it's the plan. Like, hey, we want to have a challenge, and then so we can kind of push this along.
You want to have, I mean, okay, so these are like fake deals?
I don't
No, the only way this challenge makes sense is if they're real deals, and then but what it's not hard to write these things. Lots of people are doing it. Everyone's getting their money through.
Yes.
Pay for play is happening everywhere. There are many teams with $40 million payrolls this year.
And they use Payfly, so those, what is it, the marketing, I forgot the term. There's like marketing, like, so it's a way for like the schools would make money off their different deals and stuff. Well, now they're using it as a way to pay players, but the deals are supposed to get approved. So if you say like, hey, David Woods, you're going to come play for us and make $100,000, and Payfly's like, yeah, I got $100,000 for you, but you're supposed to have like a deal that gets approved. Like, you're not supposed to be able to do this stuff. So it just seems dumb. They wanted a salary cap. There's just not going to be a salary cap. You know, 20 million, good, but people are playing 40 million.
But it was always stupid to think there was a salary cap when they were trying to put this CSC in place. It was repeatedly challenged, and by the time it was actually implemented, they had removed all teeth.
Yeah.
Like, it was that July before this went into place. They'd removed all the teeth.
Yeah.
Like, it had they had a carve out for NIL collectives put in very, very late so that NIL collectives could continue to operate and offer deals. Like, what? Why did anyone think this was a real cap?
Yeah, I don't know.
And also, you don't want a real cap until there is some sort of either legislative measure or a much stronger body in place, because any cap is going to get you immediately sued.
You need collective bargaining for all of this. Yeah. And so
I don't know.
So the players would agree, like, here's what we're going to get paid and how it's going to be distributed.
One of the worst things you find in sports, well, not one of the worst things. I mean, there's lots of bad things in sports, but one of the things that I think is most hard to like kind of wrap your head around is a lot of people operate with wishful thinking in life. Like, you run into it probably in your work where people are just hoping instead of, being realistic.
Right.
In sports, it's like 4X. Like, the amount of coaches you talk to, the amount of players you talk to, ex-players, the amount of just pure hopium that is part of their
Hope
like
is not
just
a plan.
It's just their absolute DNA is, oh, something good's gonna happen. And like, you've heard me talk for a long time. That is not part of my DNA at all. But it makes it so that like something like this, where it is like hard and legal and like there's a very practical thing that's going to happen, which is any more restrictions you put in place until there is a federal legislative carve out is going to get you sued. Every single thing.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of people in athletics, a lot of athletic directors, a lot of presidents of universities who convinced themselves that this was real, that this was a cap, that the $20.5 million for the major conferences in rev share was the hard cap. And some schools, some very dumb schools, operated as if that was real. The ones who were like serious about athletics, and some who were historically not very serious about athletics, understood it wasn't and have operated differently. And those are the ones that are going to be more successful, the ones that have budgets upwards of $28 million this year, payrolls upwards of $28 to $40 million. Those are the ones that are going to be successful. And there were ones who really operated stupidly in the last year and are now trying to play catch up again because they hoped that something that wasn't real was actually real, which is that there was a salary cap.
Ketchup. I like ketchup.
Ketchup. Mayonnaise.
I know you love when I
mayonnaise?
come up with these topics. I like mayonnaise, yeah. Miracle Whip?
Favorite condiment?
It's ketchup, yeah.
Really?
So. Yeah. I mean, I just use it.
So you
the
haven't
most.
evolved since you were like 7?
No, I don't use it for breakfast.
Okay, so not on eggs?
Not on eggs or hash browns. Or
I feel like
that.
so I'm not a big eggs guy, but if you make eggs poorly enough that you need to douse them in ketchup, you need to self-interrogate whether you actually like eggs.
Yeah. I think that's true.
Right? Like, you should make them with like a little bit of whole milk, a little bit of butter, like make them so that they're rich and fluffy and nice. And if you don't do that and then you douse a bunch of scrambled eggs that you made poorly with ketchup, you've lost the plot.
Yeah.
Have French toast instead for breakfast. Gain 75 pounds in the next week and a half.
Like, I'll put like ketchup and mustard on a hot dog. For sandwiches, is mayonnaise. I like mayonnaise.
Ketchup on a hot dog. So here's the thing.
And
A bunch
mustard.
of people are like psychotic about this. They're like, "Oh, are you a child? Are you a little baby?" And I'm like, "No, it's a tasty condiment that you can put on a hot dog."
Yeah, and with fries, obviously.
Yeah, but like, what are we doing? Why is this bad?
Yeah, I don't know. But I know you love ketchup. I know you don't love eggs. And you love when I bring up all these different topics of stuff.
This
that
is
you don't
making
really-
it a great show. I'm enjoying it.
You do love it, But we could take a break from that because I want to tell you something, David.
Oh yeah.
Are
baby.
you just filling out a bracket this year? Are you actually going to try to win something real? Tell me that.
I might try to win something real.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
where should I do that?
Well, most people, they want to play for bragging rights. My bookie is giving away $100,000 in their Madness Bracket Contest. That's $100,000, David. Real cash. All up for grabs. They're celebrating 100,000 followers on Instagram with another $10,000 in prizes. So this just isn't about picking upsets, talking trash in the group chat. This is turning your ball knowledge into a bankroll. If you're going to be in it to win it. Head to mybookie.ag and use our promo code POC for Podcast of Champions, POC. Get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your bet back bonus token and run it back. The madness only comes once a year, so don't just watch it, win from it only at MyBookie.
I'm glad you clarified POC for Podcast of Champions because obviously not people of color.
No.
Obviously not.
I mean, we're not. No.
We're the people of no color whatsoever.
My hiring practices have been, I've realized I'm hiring a lot of, we call them like cilantro, like I have Latinos like working for me for whatever reason. Like Gerard Martinez has been like my partner for a long time. Chris Trevino was for a while. RJ Abadia is half. And then my new intern, McKenna, she's half Mexican, half Spanish. I'm like, everyone I bring into my organization is like Mexican. So we got a little POC, I guess, for that.
There you go.
This isn't POC.
Not us.
though.
Not us, though.
We are not
No,
POC.
No.
But yeah, go check out MyBookie, promo code POC. Glad to have them back.
Northern European is maybe the opposite of the sea there.
Yeah.
Like, I've got relatives who are possibly transparent.
I love that.
Like where the skin is just paper thin,
yeah.
You could see the internal organs.
Nice. Okay. Do you know which team in the country has the most starters coming back in 2026, David?
I do because I actually clicked on your tweet, but please tell me.
Oh, it's actually USC, 15.
Hey!
I didn't know that. But I just want a quick overview of the Big Ten. Maryland's got 14, so that's a pretty big one. Oregon's got 14. They were really good at retention. Some big names on there, like Dante Moore and Mateo Ungalale and Bear Alexander. A bunch of dudes that are coming back for the Ducks. Going down the list, Nebraska has 12 guys coming back. I almost said Stanford. We used to be part of a conference that Stanford was in, but not anymore. I don't know if you know that. Minnesota, they got 11 dudes coming back. Indiana, Hoosiers, your national champions, they've got 10. Michigan also with 10. Washington has 10 also. And let's see, going down the list. Northwestern, 9 guys coming back. It's going down. Yeah. So then there's a bunch. Illinois got 7. Now we're getting down. Purdue's got 7. So there's a lot of Iowa 6. So now we're like not many people coming back for a lot of these schools. UCLA only 6.
Yeah.
That's I keep seeing these schools. Oh, Colorado. No, they're not part of it. Rutgers 5. This is really compelling, I know. Penn State 4. Wisconsin 4.
Look, not every one of your topics can be a winner, right?
Yeah. And that's what I got.
There's nothing better in the world than Ryan Abraham reading a list. Can we
Yeah.
all agree?
It's pretty good.
It's top tier. It's top tier content. We all appreciate it. Returning production, I think, is a better statistic. And also when they do the work like Bill Connolly does on ESPN, still the best statistics writer in college football space. Like, I have an ESPN whatever plus subscription. It is entirely for Bill during the season. Great stuff. But they do returning production. It's much better because he will also incorporate the transfers production as returning production.
I like that,
because you've seen college production from them. Because starters, like for a team like UCLA, for example, I'll speak to the one I know, a lot of the guys did start They just didn't start for UCLA last year.
Yeah.
So it's and yeah, is it a 1-to-1 translation when you've got a guy from JMU coming in to start at UCLA or a G5 coming in to start at USC or whatever? No, but it's closer than a high school kid coming in.
Yeah. There was another good one on CBS, like burning questions for each school, but we could do that we can save that because there's actually got a good topic.
We're going to need a lot of topics, so let's save
another
it,
good,
baby.
yeah, so we could kind of go through some of those. We can even break it up. But if you're looking for a starting quarterback or you're trying to, whatever it is, like I thought they did a nice job over on CBS doing that one. So we can take a look at that one later. The other thing I had is Matt Patricia is defensive coordinator for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Let me play.
The Ohio State Buckeyes.
He's, we're worried about how are we going to pay the players? Because we, all these other expenses. So maybe they'll pay coaches less. $3.75 million. The highest paid assistant in college football. Now, he did an amazing job. But yeah, I don't know if you had any thoughts on that, Mr. Woods.
I mean, it's a lot of stupid money.
We thought they'd pay coaches less, but I don't think they're gonna.
No, I don't think they're going to. I really don't get it. I don't get it. There should be. I don't know. Nobody's sensible anymore. But yeah, I mean, the salaries for assistant coaches have gone through the roof. It wasn't that long ago when the highest paid head coach was like $4.5 million. This was like a decade ago.
Yeah.
And now we're paying defensive coordinator $3.75 million. Do you think you could coordinate Ohio State's talent level to a top 50 defense? I'm not saying top 10, but do you think you could?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so if you had a defensive coordinator, somebody with actual experience who doesn't just brush up on Madden before they play, but has okay, I know the difference between an inverted cover 2 and a regular one, right? That person is probably top 15, no problem.
Yeah.
Right? Because you've got just absolute monsters on your defensive line no matter what. You have guys like Caleb Downs just doing whatever, covering half the field. You don't need to do a whole lot. You could probably just call Tampa 2 again. Hey, let's switch it up now. Tampa 2. And you'd probably have a top 15 defense. Right?
Yeah, I would think so.
So what are we doing here?
Let me look at the mock draft here. They have Arvell Reese, edge rusher, Ohio State. He's projected to go 3rd. Carnell Tate, well, he's an offensive guy. He's going 4th. And they got Downs up there too, in the top 10 or something. So, if you got guys like that, it's you got a lot of options.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're stud players that are going to be top 10 picks in the NFL draft, we could probably put them out there and say, go tackle somebody.
Yeah. Here is the play we run.
Yeah.
Please adjust as you see them hitting you in certain places. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, David, a little bit of breaking news. Our buddy Ross Dellinger. So remember we were just talking about the Big Ten, what they were asking for? He says the NCAA plans to continue tampering enforcement. Officials tell Yahoo Sports, despite Big Ten's request to suspend cases. Big 12 and ACC executives say they are opposed to pausing tampering. Just 2 months ago, Greg Sankey urged the NCAA to pursue tampering. It is so funny how the Big Ten and Tony Petitti just goes against everybody else. The SEC wants to do more tampering, enforce tampering. Now let's get rid of tampering. So at the urging of the D1 Board of Directors, the NCAA has opened several tampering investigations, most notably against Ole Miss, which was at the center of an explosive news conference with Dabo Swinney accused Pete Golding of directly tampering with one of his players. That's so looks like the Big Ten's request, they want 24 teams. They wanted all these automatic qualifiers. They want no tampering. It's not happening, but it just sort of delays everything else. So it's almost like there's mucking things up.
Yeah. Well,
or we are, because we cover this team.
Yeah. Tony Petitti sucks.
I don't think he's very good. Unless he wants to come on the show, then he can be They can be very good. All right. That's all I got. Should we take a quick break and come back and do questions and
Let's
such?
do it.
All right. Let's take a break. Back in a minute, everybody. All righty. We're back here on the podcast of champions. David Woods with On 3. Ryan Abraham with 24/7. Somehow, we've crossed the aisle and became friends. We can't do this in American politics, but we can do it here.
That's right,
in
baby.
the world of podcasting. USC, UCLA, different networks. Like, we couldn't be more opposite, except the stuff we like, which we like a lot of stuff that's in common. Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
We got a super chat.
Let's go!
We love super chats. You got it? Can we do it?
Yes, this is from Bruin in Chicago. Glad to catch a simulcast live. Boo. Nice to see you guys supporting each other's schools with your shirts today. Keep up the mediocre work. It is very nice. I'm wearing like a salmon, and you're wearing
blue, yeah.
a blue.
It's Smack Sportswear. I'm coaching volleyball later, and it's for Smack, so I wore a Smack shirt.
So I had to go to UCLA for a meeting with somebody fairly recently, and I wore a red checkered shirt just because I was, it's just what I was wearing. And I got so much shit.
Really?
And I'm like, look, I've got an alumnus carve out here. Like, I can wear whatever the fuck I want on this campus, all right? Like, you people giving me shit, get out of here. Sorry, Griffin. Sorry, Griffin, for a lot there.
If you remember Zach Banner, he's a big offensive tackle, was a highly rated recruit, and was in the NFL for a while, but he always, very big personality. He would yell at you in the media when we would cover him if you were wearing blue. And a lot of people did, just I don't care. And he's back like as a GA or something now, and he did the same thing. He was like, don't wear blue. He would like come and tell us not to wear blue. Like, I don't know. I'm just wearing clothes, dude. I'm not here cheering you on. I'm just watching what little bit of practice we get to watch. I think our first email is from our buddy John in Brea. Dear Ryan and Dave, I've been kind of busy and haven't had enough time to formulate a thought of my own, so I asked AI to give me a suggestion for a good question to ask the Podcast of Champions during the offseason. And here's the question. With the Big Ten expanding to 18 teams, draft a Mount Rushmore of coaches, players, or personalities most likely to cause maximum chaos, drama, or funny headlines in 2026. On second thought, never mind, John and Brea. Thank you for aborting that one, John, because that would have been. We sparked a whole bunch of AI discussion.
We did.
People were talking about it later. And it's like, yeah.
Were they really?
I mean, I've had people have brought it up to me since we were talking about AI.
Wow.
It's been a thing.
Thought-provoking.
We are thought-provoking.
We're thought-provokers.
The next email, it was
thought-provocative.
Was this something you set up or no? Or is that just random?
The Simplecast thing?
Yeah.
No, that's a real thing.
Okay, yeah. I almost deleted it, but I'm like, oh, maybe that's a thing.
No, I'm working on it right now, actually.
Wow.
All right, we got one from El Gordo
Good thing
Flacco.
you're doing it while we're doing the show instead of before, so we could have it for the show.
I didn't see it in there. All right.
Okay.
You want to know why? Because I still don't have the Big Ten Cast email logged in on my phone, so I don't get notifications when emails come in. I still get them for the Pac-12 podcast, though. You would think a normal person would switch that out, and it's been over a year.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that.
Okay.
Yeah. Still holding the candle for the Pac-12. Thursday is the best day of the week. Hello, gents, and happy Thursday. Here are some questions. 1. Oh, actually, let's start there. What's the best day of the week, Ryan?
Best day of the week. Maybe Saturday.
It's so interesting because I'm 100% with El Gordo Flacco. And I think this is very interesting.
What is he saying?
He's saying Thursday is the best day of the week. And this is interesting because I think it says a lot about who you are as a person and what you like to do. I like to anticipate things, right?
Oh.
Thursday is the best day of anticipation because Friday, it's a nothing day. If you work, you don't do anything on a Friday. It's whatever. It's bullshit. So Friday's a great day. Saturday's a great day. And then Sunday's grim death. But Friday and Saturday are great days. And so you're anticipating those. Now, do they ever turn out to be great days? Sometimes not. But the anticipation is the best part. You, sir, are saying the doing is the best part. The Saturday is the best part. And that's interesting to me.
Doing's better than anticipating it. I'm more of a doer. Is that what you're saying?
You want to dream. You want to dream big. You don't want to do big.
I want to live big.
Nah, you want to dream big.
Oh.
You don't want to do big.
All right.
No.
I mean, Saturdays you do have to work a lot.
Worst day of the week.
It could be. I mean, it's like
No, worst day of the week. What's your worst day of the week?
I mean, to be honest, David, like now that I don't have like a 9-to-5 job, like days of the week don't matter as much to me anymore. But I mean, I go Monday, I guess. But like, or you might say Sunday because you're anticipating.
I'm borderline Sunday.
Yeah.
Borderline. I think it's Monday, but I'm borderline Sunday. And honestly, you could make a strong argument for like Tuesday.
I was thinking Tuesday.
Because you're far from like the joy of the weekend, and then you're so far from the joy of the next.
Yeah.
Right? So Tuesdays are a tough one too.
Yeah. But it's not the same. Now, like, you know, our jobs, like you're working weekends sometimes. So it's just different, you know. You might have Tuesday, not much going on or whatever. So yeah, it's a little different.
True, but we still have to publish a website and publish like a bunch of content, even if nothing is going on.
Yes,
right?
true.
Because the ravenous hordes, they still want to consume.
Stuff.
They want to consume. They want to eat.
I've been working more, David. It's not good.
Yeah.
I don't want to work more.
No, you got to hire somebody else.
I got a big staff still.
I got time for a side hustle. Bring me onto the USC beat. I think that'd be
I
fun.
could do that. Oh, Connor went to UCLA. You could come to USC.
I think that would be delightful for everyone involved.
Sure, your fans would. Well, I'm sure Tracy would love it.
Showing up one day,
trying to build this website.
I think we mentioned this one other time. We should do Bizarro Day, where you come cover UCLA, I go cover USC. You would have a seamless transition to the UCLA beat. Like you would come in and be like polite and nice and ask some good questions, and I would go to USC and just be a hateful troll, and it would be so good.
I could see that.
It would be beautiful.
Yeah. All right. Oh, so anyway, what's his questions?
Oh, great question.
Isn't that one?
One, was the old Pac-12 the, quote, conference of champions due to NCAA titles, Olympic medals, or a combination of the two? I've heard conflicting statements. I think it was always NCAA titles, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it's NCAA titles. Remember that one year, like Larry Scott, like the beginning of the football media day, like had like it was the Washington's crew team coach speak first. So we went like 10 minutes of football media day without saying the word football. And they talked about the 500 championships. It was all about the NCAA titles. And that's what Larry Scott embraced. And to the point of we have to talk about football. We're here for football media day. So yeah, that you kind of knew that was the beginning of the end when you started football media day with the women's rowing coach from Washington.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay. He's got his next question. I was doing a little research on it.
Oh.
2, what will be the most difficult Big 18 matchup of the season to watch? I'm thinking Maryland versus Rutgers or anything with Purdue.
Ooh.
I found a game that I think may be my personal one.
Let me pull up the schedule, this eye chart. But okay, what do you got?
Northwestern plays Iowa in November.
Ooh.
I'll tell you right now, I will not be able to watch that game.
It's at the new stadium, though?
I won't be able to watch that game.
Okay.
Those are like the two styles of football that I find most repugnant to watch in the history of
What did he say?
football.
Does he say Rutgers at Maryland?
Rutgers, Maryland.
Okay. I think
that's a tough one. Don't get me wrong. That's a tough watch.
Yeah. I think Maryland at Purdue.
That could be bad.
Where's who else Purdue got? It could be bad for other reasons, like Purdue at Indiana.
Yep.
But yeah, there's some bad ones. I mean, there's going to be plenty of bad ones.
There's some tough watches.
It's hard to
Big
pick.
Ten.
Yeah.
3, what athletic programs do you think deserve more recognition at USC and UCLA?
Well, I mean, they're both good at a lot of other sports that no one cares about.
Yeah, that's the thing is, what is more than what they deserve? Like, because right now UCLA's women's basketball team is the best women's basketball team UCLA
They're getting
ever
a lot
had.
of props.
They're getting a lot of props,
Yeah.
especially just like relative to women's basketball, but relative to like general sports too.
Yeah.
Should they be getting more? Maybe, but they're really good and they're talked about a lot.
Yeah, like when USC had Juju, they got a lot of props for that for women's basketball. So those, I think, when you're really good, you're going to get credit for.
USC's baseball team is not getting enough yet.
They're 16-0 or whatever.
They're really, really good. UCLA's baseball team is getting a fair amount because they're really, really good too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what your mileage is. I think when UCLA is really good at an Olympic sport, it shows up. And when they're, the thing is, like, both USC and UCLA have a lot of consistent top 5, top 10 programs.
Yeah, like they'll win water polo
They're
every
never
other
going
year.
to be talked about when they're top 5, top 10. They're going to be talked about if they're number 1 and basically undefeated.
Yeah.
So, and even then, like, water polo is never going to be talked about because, frankly, water polo is not, like, it's a obvious sport. Don't get me wrong on this. It is not a watchable sport. Like, you don't watch water polo. Nobody watches water polo and has any idea what's going on because, like, 80% of the action is underneath the surface of the water. And it's a lot of, like, for men, it's a lot of ball grabbing. For women, I'm sure it's a lot of, like, punches in the ovaries and stuff. But, like, it's not cool. But it's also, like, it's a bunch of people swimming and then throwing a ball in a net. Like, it's not,
Exclusions.
It's
and
very
stuff.
hard. Like, water polo is the hardest sport. I think... there was once a Daily Bruins story I think they did where it was football players tried to play water polo. This is way back like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Water polo players tried to play football. The water polo players could pull off a football practice in their sleep. But the football players were like trying to tread water while doing the thing where they hold the couple gallon jug of water and let it dump out over their heads, and they try to tread water and stay at the same height above the water.
Yeah.
That shit's insane, man.
Yes.
No, water polo people are freaks. They're in insane shape.
No.
But anyway, it's never going to be talked about because it's not really a watchable sport.
Yeah. So there's a lot of those where it's like, I think the first 6 or 7 years of the existence of women's beach volleyball, USC and UCLA won all the national championships, just went back and forth or whatever. USC ended up winning like 4 in a row. I think LMU might have won last year, but it's like, okay, so you win it all the time. Like, there's stuff that I think people expect. The California schools, Cal, Stanford too, just you expect those schools to win. So I don't think you get a lot of credit for that.
All right.
And they're always good.
4, what are the differences between El Segundo, Manhattan Beach, and Redondo Beach?
You left out Hermosa Beach, dude. Like, that's where I live.
But there is no real difference between Hermosa and Manhattan.
It's a little different.
Maybe. El Segundo is the most different of these 3. El
Yes.
Segundo is a little town in Oklahoma that was dropped into Southern California, or at least that's what
With
it was.
a major airport.
That's what it was when I was growing up. Since then, it has become, I would say, yuppiedom. Like, it's just a lot of, like, I would say, youngish to middle-aged parents of young kids is a huge portion of the population because the school district is very good. But it's increasingly wealthy and hoity-toity from that perspective. But it is still got, like, kind of small-town vibes.
Yeah, I think so. Manhattan Beach, if you're looking at zip codes, so that's as far as cost of living, that's up there with like a Newport Beach or a Beverly Hills. It's up there. And then because Hermosa and Redondo and El Segundo are next to it, like, they're also very expensive.
Can you
as
say
well.
El Segundo again, please?
El Segundo?
Yeah. I heard you say the Gundo.
I don't say El
No.
No,
I
say El Segundo.
It's
yeah.
not. Sadly, it's not.
Although, like, when I'm driving, like, the thing will say that sometimes.
Yeah, they'll say El Segundo.
Yeah.
And no,
No.
unfortunately.
But Manhattan Beach is like up there as far as like, it's very expensive. And the whole beach cities are expensive. If you ever
Manhattan Beach is the most expensive of those 3.
yeah, for sure. And then if you ever take off from LAX over the ocean, look to your left and you can't miss the South Bay because there's like no yards. It's all, so all the El Segundo, Manhattan Beach, like, it's just back to back to back, just homes everywhere. So it's very distinguished when you fly out of LAX. Look out the left side.
And then I wouldn't say Redondo Beach is like the least nice, but I guess that's kind of true. There's parts of it that are like,
it's a lot bigger, so there's
it's
more.
bigger.
Yeah.
It's
there's
more
like
expensive,
South Redondo,
and you can find places to live in Redondo that will not bankrupt you as long as you are making good middle class money.
Yeah, but everywhere else, even El Segundo, I think it's not.
No, there's nothing affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Redondo, you can still find like an apartment building that has like.
There's more like condos.
I won't say it's affordable because nothing is here, but it's relative.
Yeah. I would put some things. Oh, we have Twitter, but I'll put these. These are comments from YouTube. Willie, is UCLA football winning the offseason, and does it feel different to you? I think they're doing great in the offseason.
I think they're doing a really good job.
Really good.
I think they're doing a great job with PR, marketing stuff. Did you see that funny video of Bob Chesney talking to his clones?
I did not. No.
It was pretty funny.
Okay.
But a few people had tweeted it, including Bro, like because he was just everywhere. He was going to all these events, and so they're like, "Oh, he must have cloned himself at the UCLA Medical Center." And so they did a video with him in the Wasserman Center, like, "What's this?" And then it's him talking to like 3 of his clones.
Okay.
So that was cool.
That's good.
But they're also doing like just cool stuff that they haven't done in the past. Like they're having these semi-publicized unofficial visits this week where they're doing their like max out days for their like weightlifting sessions, their winter workouts. They're like, repping their maxes and like having like kind of celebration, like night celebrations about this stuff. And so they're bringing in like pretty big time recruits to come in and be part of that energy.
Oh.
And it's the first time I can remember them doing that specifically with unofficials, because, typically they've reserved that for like practice days in spring or weekends where they do like a junior day where it's a lot of talky. But integrating them into like what is like a hardcore team activity with like, really, really high energy, I think is a cool idea. But they're doing a lot of cool stuff. I mean, look, there have been many off-season victories in UCLA history, so I don't think anybody should be making any conclusions about any of this stuff. But it's another sign that run by a pro now, like run by somebody who knows what they're doing, and there hasn't been a misstep. It's all been like, oh, this is really good. This is really good. This is really good. So winning the offseason, I don't know. I think everyone's just trying to, have good publicity in the offseason, but I think UCLA is doing a nice job right now.
No, much better. You don't want to have like disasters like Deshaun Foster at Big Ten Media Day, things like
Correct.
that. Like those aren't good. But these have all been positive, so it's a good thing. Kenny Chesney's doing a nice job there. Let's go. Our buddy Colt. Question, Ryan. At what point does Lincoln Riley's buyout become bearable? 30 million, 20 million? No, honestly, Colt, like
next year.
I think it's going to be, we're sort of in the 50-ish range now. And so you're below the Jimbo Fisher, mark. But just the way that you have to invest into your roster every year, it becomes a much smaller percentage of that. Like if you, like David said, if you're putting like 40 million or 35 million into your roster, do you want to wait 2 more years and that's like $70 million or something? And then you're still have the wrong coach. If you feel like you have the wrong coach, I think you kind of have to pull the trigger once you're like, I think they're in that range now. So halfway through the 10-year deal, I think this is a time if it goes south that you would have to do that.
Yeah, agreed.
It's just, it becomes economics, right? And like you have to expect boosters to like pony up millions and millions of dollars every year and you stink. Like they don't want to keep doing that. Like they want to see some return on their investment.
Lincoln Riley is also a fairly young guy. He's going to want another job after this. And sort of like the James Franklin situation, what did they end up actually paying of that buyout? It was nowhere near the full freight.
It wasn't. Yeah.
They agreed on an amount for like just a single lump sum. And then, okay, we're no longer tied to each other.
It was negotiable. Like there was.
I would imagine Lincoln Riley would do something fairly similar because he wants to go work again.
Yeah.
And otherwise he's working not for free, but he's working for offsetting money.
Yeah, I think for like Brian Kelly, like that was like he was like, F you, pay me,
Well, what's Lincoln Riley going to go get on the open market? He's a good coach. Like if you could,
like if Texas Tech hired him or something, like he's
that's
still
what I'm saying.
Like,
if Texas Tech
hired
hired
him, still make $10 million a year. Or something.
And that's my point: is you don't want that as offsetting money. What you want to get is a lump sum from USC.
Oh yeah, and then
you want $20 million from USC, and then you go get your $10 million a year from Texas Tech.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that's what his agent is probably going to be thinking, not offset. Like offsetting money is what you want when first the salaries are a lot lower, which is what it was like 5-10 years ago, and second when you're older and you don't have much room left to work.
Right. All right, Mike. Let's see.
We got breaking news.
Oh, I'll get that in a second. I pulled this up. Have you made it to USC practice this spring, and have you noticed any significant changes and the approach energy. Thanks for the question, Mike. Yeah, I've been out, and David sort of mentioned this. Since I've had some staff turnover, I had to work more of myself. I've taken a lot of photos and a lot of tweeting and stuff. But yeah, it's what we get to watch at the beginning is, limited, but we have actually had a little bit bigger window than we have maybe in the past. And I do think Gary Patterson, the defensive coordinator, which is going to be the key to everything, has had really good energy there. You can watch him bop around. He's like showing the defensive tackles where to put their hands, and he's working with the linebackers on their footwork or whatever it is. He's moving around, and for like an older guy, just seems to have a lot of energy teaching. And I didn't know. I felt there could be a 50-50 thing. Like you bring this Hall of Fame coach that was a head coach for a long time with Lincoln Riley, who's kind of stubborn about stuff and very offense focused. It could just not work at all. It could be a disaster. But hearing those guys, it seems like it's actually working pretty well. I asked Lincoln Riley specifically about the energy in practice changing because of Gary Patterson, and then if the structurally you change, because a lot of the criticism is like, oh, your practices are focused on offense, so your defense kind of sucks or whatever. And he said that they've made some changes structurally to practice, and he really did smile when I asked him about Patterson. He's like, the guy's everywhere talking to people and stuff. So, it's like an offseason thing. It's like, okay, this is what you wanted to see. It's pretty positive. Will they win more games on Saturdays? I don't know. Well, it's hard to tell, but I've liked what I've seen so far from what I've seen out there at practice.
Okay.
I try to, if I thought it sucked, I would tell you it sucked. Like I'm not trying to be a shill for this. Okay. We got a super chat.
That's right, baby.
Thank you, El Gordo Flaco.
I've heard the opinions on coaches' pay. What about the pay for administrators and professors at the CSU and UC systems? I don't know very much about the pay for administrators and professors at the CSU and UC systems.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Yeah, it's definitely not as high as the coaches.
No. Yes, the coaches make.
And I do think I do think a little of that is silly. Like I know I joke about coaches being paid over way too much, and they are paid way too much. But their profession is a singular thing where it's like there's only one football team, there's only one basketball team, and those are the two revenue drivers for a lot of this, athletic department. So I understand paying those guys up a lot. I mean, I joke about them being PE teachers, and they are, but they're well paid, and they should be for PE teaching. I mean, should it be $15 million? No. But, a couple million makes sense, I guess, because you think of them like major fundraisers, right? You would pay like a major fundraiser, like somebody who brings in tens of millions of dollars to the university. You'd probably pay them a fair amount. So, okay, buy that. Professors, there's a lot of them, so you can't pay them millions and millions of dollars. But they are valuable to the educational mission. I don't know. Whether the president and the chancellor should get a lot of money, I think depends on how good they're at, again, raising money.
At their job, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyway. All right, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, El Gordo Flaco. Appreciate
you. Big fan. Mike, which Big Ten athletic directors have the toughest challenge this year? It's hard to say because, obviously, if you have a coach on the hot seat, so if you're like Wisconsin or USC potentially, whatever, any coach that's sort of embattled, that's tough. But it's also it's hard to tell if you need to raise a lot of money for your roster. You have to. That's a huge part of what the athletic director does now. That wasn't a thing before. It's not just it'll be $22.5 million, I think, this year for the rev share, but just the money on top of that, you got to pay players. Like David said, if there's $30, $35, $40 million pay, the AD is a big part of that. So I think whatever ADs are having the hardest time raising that money and trying to keep up with the Joneses, that would even more than coaching decisions. Some of the coaching decisions you kind of make for yourself, but I'm just not familiar enough with which ADs are having the most trouble raising money and stuff.
Well, it depends on who they are and what they do, what their skill set is, because I don't think anyone is fully cognizant in many ways of almost every job in athletics has turned into fundraising first. athletic director, your number one job is to be a fundraiser. Executive athletic director, associate athletic director, your number one job is to be a fundraiser. Head coach of a major program, your job is to be a fundraiser. And head coach of a minor program, your job is also to be a fundraiser. It's crazy, and it's made those jobs a lot harder. And if you're not, if you got into being an AD because you like administrating sports, I don't even know what they do, whatever. But if you got into AD for something else, your job changed drastically. If you got into coaching because you like to coach, your job changed drastically. It's fundraising and acquiring talent.
One thought, David, on this. If you have like a football first, second, third school, like it's football, which most places are, and you put your resources into that, what if you're trying to manage basketball and football? Does that add an extra layer of, now we're trying to fund this major basketball program too, but it can't football is still the most important, but it adds to it. Right?
I think it creates a huge, it's an additional challenge because I think a lot of schools, they treat their men's basketball program as like, okay, yeah, we need to support it, but it's not. But there are some schools, UCLA among them, where basketball is, I won't say it's a priority on par with football because it's not a priority on par with football basically anywhere, but it's more of a priority than it is at some schools.
Yeah.
And you do have to balance some things. And I think for legacy Big Ten, legacy Pac-12, legacy schools that were not in the SEC, this is something we talked about at the advent of NIL. The apparatus and the understanding that players need to get paid did not exist.
Right.
At the SEC, it did. But look, I'm sure we both heard situations where USC paid a player, UCLA paid a player, Michigan paid a player, or whatever in the past. But they were one-offs. Like, this was a deal done through a shoe company doing something, whatever. Okay. But you didn't hear bagmen doing bagmen things. And that's the thing that existed at the SEC, and they were able to legitimize it, essentially. In the legacy Pac-12 and the legacy Big Ten, it's having to develop the entire apparatus for doing that. And then if you're also trying to do it to support not just these two sports, but also additional sports, because women's basketball has a fairly robust NIL situation now at a lot of schools. And it does become a thing in the transfer market. Baseball has become a thing, particularly, again, SEC driving it in a lot of ways, but you've got to have a little bit of money to retain your players and go get key pieces in the transfer portal.
Even adding scholarships, because that was one where you had like a 35-person roster and you had 11 and a half scholarships or whatever, and now you can have more. And so, there's
changed. A lot that's gone into it. And so, it does create a different challenge when you have to try to support multiple things, and you do have to balance things, and you also have to you might have basketball-specific donors, you might have football-specific donors, but making sure that those people are all on board to support at the level you need to have because the going rate to be successful in men's college basketball now is you got to be probably well north at this point, but north of $10 million in payroll. And to be really competitive in football, probably need to be high 20s at minimum.
Yeah, I would say well above the
20 and a half or whatever it was from last year. But you've got to be high 20s at minimum and probably north of 30 now.
Yeah, I would agree. Next one, MEGEE, another one for me. With USC writing checks now for prep kids, what's the minimum amount of games Riley needs to win this year to be safe? Also, Dave, over under 1.5 years before Riley is fired. Ooh, that's a good one. I've been saying playoff or bust for Riley. So, and if they don't have Notre Dame, but they do have Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State on the schedule. If you go 9-3 and you're competitive in those games, I'm sure you could but if it's if you're not sniffing the playoffs, I think it's probably look, we got to move on, because I just feel like if you're not getting there after all the changes you've made, you've fixed so many things around Riley that at some point you're just okay, the problem's Riley. So I don't know if there's a minimum, but I think you have to be in the playoff conversation, if not making it. Otherwise, I think it'd be problems.
Yeah, I'm going to go under on the 1.5.
I could see it.
Because 1.5, what does that get us to? That gets us to mid-September 2027. I guess if you gave me like 1.3, like if you gave me like 1.6, 1.7,
Okay.
like get me to October of the second season, then I'm there.
Okay.
I think he could get fired after this year. I think it could be fairly bad. Like it's not going to be whatever 3-9, but I think it could be like a 500, just north of 500 type season,
Which would be bad.
which would be really bad. And to your point, they've invested a lot. They've given him the rope to hang himself because obviously USC's NIL situation, if it isn't fixed, it's pretty damn fixed at this point because and I think a lot of observers would say they're maybe misspending it because they invested way heavily in high school recruiting.
Yeah.
But
When you got to win now. You know?
But if you think about it strategically, that might make more sense if they are anticipating firing Lincoln Riley, because then you've got a solid base of players who are already in the program that you can hire a new guy and say, hey, stick around and we'll pay you. We'll continue to pay you. And then the new hire has a bunch of good players on the roster. But yeah, he hasn't worked really there. Like it's been, I mean, if I'm being fair and judicious, it's been okay.
Yeah. I think that okay is good, but you don't pay $11 million a year for a coach.
It's
to be
not okay. Like it's too much money for what it is. And I think this year, I mean, I'm looking at it like, a little bit of hater eyes, but like I'm looking at it as like this is going to be at best okay again. Like I think it's going to be like probably my best case is like somewhere in that 8-4, 9-3 range, depending on one of these swing games, and that's not enough.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be enough for sure.
Yeah.
West Texas Mike said, and this was when we were talking about which day of the week is your favorite, and if you're living in the now or worry about the future or whatever you're saying. 2 years ago, didn't Ryan say he'd rather be Ohio State than Michigan because of the anticipation? So the point of that one was Michigan was the national champion. I didn't say this. I said there was a lot of people that Michigan had just beat Ohio State for like the third or fourth time. They won the national championship. But Ohio State had this crazy offseason where I think that's the year when they got Caleb Downs or whatever. I forget what it was. But amazing offseason, and they were getting all the pub. And would you rather be the team that's like loading up for the future, and they end up winning the national championship after that? Or would you rather be the team that just won? And so I'd rather be the team that just won. I didn't say that, but I was saying that was part of the discussion is that you had Michigan here who just beat Ohio State, won the national title, but all offseason everyone was talking about Ohio State because of all the crazy stuff they were doing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then I think that was the last one. Oh, we had Twitter topics.
We've gotten a lot more since we started talking.
Twitter? Or there's more questions?
Yeah.
Let me see. Willie, I guess we'll pull this up. Oh, wait, crap, that was the wrong one. Did I just hear when we get to watch, when referring to USC practices, have all these schools gone to the Chip Kelly School of Closing Practices?
Yes, they have.
We can watch the beginning. And actually a decent amount. I can take a lot of good photos. We get some good
Shut
video
up.
and stuff.
No. Don't do this.
I'd rather watch the whole thing.
Don't concede ground to the idiocy, okay?
Yeah.
Like, don't negotiate against yourself. Continue to say this is stupid because
It's
it
stupid.
is.
It's dumb.
Like, oh, we get to. No, it's dumb. Like,
Yeah, stop acting like you're doing us a huge favor.
Yeah, this is the thing. Nobody trusts the media, and look, a lot of it will be based on your own personal preferences, whatever. Since time immemorial, they would close practice to public people a lot of the time. Like, practices would be closed to public people, but media were allowed in to, like, have some background to, like, write about the stupid team, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, so if I want to write a season preview that's at all educated, right, then I need to watch the team practice, right? Like, I need to be able to watch, like, is the quarterback good or is it just a bunch of hot talk from the coaches?
Yeah.
Is the running back, like, do they have 3 running backs or is it actually just one? Like, all that kind of stuff that you need to put your own eyes on it. And if you don't do that, then you don't have educated writing about the team and all that kind of stuff. And is that important for the football program? Maybe, maybe not. But I think, like, and this is something I was trying to, like, raise with just kind of people this offseason, but, like, supporting the ecosystem around sports is an important thing. Like, it's like a biome. Like, you've got to do your part to make sure that this thing continues to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And if you
can't put a sheet over it, and there's no sun getting in, and then it's like it's going to die.
People are trained to consume sports in a particular way, and the people who are casual, they consume it by watching it on Saturday. But the people who are more diehard, they consume it in various different and more extreme and more in-depth and more extensive ways. And those people need to be supported too. And part of that ecosystem is for like the medium fan, the one between casual and diehard and insane. They want to read informed articles about the team in the newspaper or in, online or whatever it is. So you got to support that. You got to support the existence of that. And I think most programs do that. They'll let a columnist in every now and then to like come do a thing. But then there's also the people who are psychotic. Hi, you're listening. You're probably one of them. But like, the people who subscribe to our message boards. And I'm not saying that pejoratively. I too am a psychotic. But those people need to be supported too by these programs, by the general ecosystem of the sport. Like there needs to be allowed some entree into this stuff by the programs because, these people have grown accustomed to that. And also it's their way of being a fan. And if you eliminate that, then you're turning people who are diehards, the kinds who will show up to every single game and show up to every single tailgate and, be there for alumni events and all that kind of stuff. You're turning them into casuals because they don't have the ability to consume the other stuff.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Crispy Bruin put some good stuff in there about the UC system and everything. I put up on the screen if you want to read that on YouTube, but I don't think we need to go through all that. But KB, who is in a better position right now, UCLA men's basketball or USC football? I mean,
probably USC football.
Yeah, they got the number 1 recruiting class and stuff, but UCLA's turned it around. They're doing a lot better. They're kind of
UCLA men's basketball has been playing a lot better. I would just say UCLA men's basketball is a little bit more of a TBD standpoint, whereas USC football, look, it pains me deeply to say this, but like you fire Lincoln Riley and hire a new coach, it's a turnkey operation where they've figured the stuff out that needs to be figured out infrastructurally, right? Like the money is there now.
Yeah, no, I think. Well, you don't know if it's there forever, but they got it right now.
It's there right now.
Yeah.
And if you hire the right guy, I think it'll continue to be there at least for his first couple of years to prove it or not. UCLA still kind of figuring some stuff out. I think the money is there, but is it there to the tune of generating the number 1 recruiting class in the country? No. So I think UCLA men's basketball is in a healthy spot infrastructure-wise. We'll see about Mick Cronin. We're going to see. They're not going to fire him this year. We'll see what happens next season. And, if he can, walk that thin line and get some good players in the transfer portal, then they have a chance to be good next year. And then it's going to be, kind of that hamster wheel. Can you do that every year? But no, I think USC is in a better spot right now.
All right. What did we have? Casey Cosgrove for the tweets. Ryan's favorite topic, non-football sports. West Coast dominance in Big Ten baseball. Finally a sport doing their part, LA specifically. USC and UCLA are doing really well. I haven't really followed the Big Ten. Is there a lot of Big Ten baseball?
No. So the Big Ten is pretty bad in baseball. I think the only 2 really good teams right now are USC and UCLA.
Okay.
Coming into the year, UCLA was the only team that was preseason ranked.
Gotcha. Okay.
In the Big Ten. I haven't followed enough of it closely enough to see if anyone is like emerging, but right now I think it's just UCLA and USC.
Okay. And I think there's one more. I think it's the only one we have. Hardcore Husky. Have we seen enough? Is it time to leave the Big Ten and create a new Pacific Coast Western States Conference, led this time by a competent commish?
It's been time. When was it not time? It was time as soon as they announced this stupid thing. Yeah, I mean, I've seen enough. I don't know. Like, if any part of me was like holding out for like this thing working out, it's dead and gone now. Like I don't mean to sound too negative. It's been okay in some respects, but I don't find the matchups compelling. The travel has obviously been harmful to football and men's basketball. I mean, women's basketball is apparently just a monster for UCLA and USC to a certain extent. But for men's and football, I think it's been hard. And basically, if you're not super elite, like if you can just not, like Oregon has not had any issues, but they're at the elite level program. If you're like in the mid level, like the fact that you're playing Maryland on the road instead of at home matters a lot.
Yeah.
That's it's what I identified, and it does. I'm not like a rocket scientist. It's what you can identify early on.
I tried to tell you, David, this travel would be bad, and you were like, "No, it's going to be fine. It's more money." Don't you understand, Ryan? It's more money. I think that's how that conversation went.
Like competitive cost. There's a competitive cost. You can probably like AI search the old podcast to find me saying there's a competitive cost.
We're not just doing this for money. We're doing it for a shitload of money.
Exactly. And that was the only reason they were ever doing this. So yeah, I mean, it's I think in the present world where these athletic departments are getting bailed out by their universities because of the advent of rev share and all this other stuff, the reasoning behind it, the reasoning behind the move, yes, on one hand, makes more sense because, $20 million will reduce the like big hole that the athletic department is finding itself in. Sure. But what's $20 million when you're already throwing them 30 every year? Like it's another 20. It's just changing the accounting a little bit more. And if you were still in a Pac-12, then the possibility of UCLA or USC or Washington or any of these schools actually putting together a season that, makes the playoffs or whatever, the odds would be significantly higher. Like a huge part of the reason that I don't think USC has a chance this year is because of the stupid schedule they have. Like they've got to play, what did you say? Like 3 elite teams in the regular season.
Oregon, Ohio State at home, and Indiana on the road.
Right. What would be the teams in the Pac-12 that would give them a real challenge? Oregon, and then who else this year coming up?
Yeah, like Washington
could be pretty good. UCLA will probably be better, but are they going to be? I don't know. But like nothing like Ohio State and Indiana. And so then you're saying, okay, if they lose all 3 of those, which they very well could, they have to literally go 9-0 in the rest of the games to have any chance at the playoff. Whereas you go into the Pac-12, it's like, okay, they've got 1 game that they are likely to lose, and the rest it's manageable. They can go 10-2 and make the playoff. This is the stuff that was the competitive cost. This is the stuff that I think matters to fans. It doesn't matter to the bottom line as much, though I do think that there is this inherent value in being good. And if you are good, you get more applications to your university, you get more apparel sales, you get more ticket sales, season ticket holders, you get more people investing in the program. If you're just perpetually mediocre in a big time, this is a decision that Rutgers needs to make. It's a decision that Maryland needs to make. It's not a decision that Washington, Oregon, UCLA, and USC ever needed to make. Yeah. It was short time thinking and stupid.
No, I mean, Oklahoma was doing amazing in the Big 12, and then it's a struggle in the SEC. And is that the way you want to be? But the bigger we get, the more super conference-y we get. Like it's hard. It's even for the blue bloods, it's not easy to win every year. So
yep.
We see that. One last one, El Gordo Flacco. I saw Cignetti smile for winning the Natty. Does this mean it's now downhill?
He's cooked.
Yeah, he can't smile. That was just not part of his.
Come on, that doesn't even look right.
No, I don't like seeing that. Do you like a picture ready
it's great
of him smiling?
Yeah, it was nice.
That's what I do.
Because it haunts you.
No, we were on Cignetti early. Like just from us listening to him at Big Ten Media Day, we're like, yeah, they're going to win a bunch of games. No, we obviously didn't know this was going to be like this, but it was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a good hire.
100%. 100%.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap things up.
This was a fun show today.
Like an hour and 20 minutes of not much to talk about, but in March.
I enjoyed today's show.
I did too. It was a lot of fun. And thanks again to my bookie for making things possible here, keeping the lights on. We love working with them. Remember, promo code POC.
That's right, baby.
And I guess they got a lot of Instagram followers. Follow them on Instagram and comment that you listen to the Podcast of Champions. Let them know. That'd be fun. All right. Do you want to smile or do a pose or anything? Or what's the...
You want me to move my arms outstretched again for the stick?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, let's do that.
Okay. Oops, I just hit the
Don't
camera.
knock shit over.
All right. For David Woods, I'm Ryan Abraham. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we will talk to you next time.
Goodbye.